told you before, I didn't want you to read this crap. I never saw such rotten crap in my life. Where do you get this shit? Who sells it to you? I'm talking to you, young man. You want to answer me when I'm talking to you. You remember who puts the friggin' bread on the table around here, don't you?
Stan, don't be too hard on him. All the kids read them.
My boy isn't all the kids. You want to know where this is going, Billy? In the garbage. Right into the friggin' garbage. Now, you got any smart mouth about that?
The windows are open downstairs. I better go down and close them. The rain will get in.
No, I'll do it. I got some garbage I want to throw away.
Daddy, please don't throw it away. I'm sorry.
The next time, young man, I find you with a worthless piece of shit like this again, you won't sit down for a week, buddy boy. Remember that.
Billy, if your dad was serious, then you might want to turn this show off, because I do believe it falls into the category of a
worthless piece of shit.
You're listening to the Skeleton Crew, exclusively at horrorviz.com.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Well, you know, guys, the freakiest thing happened. As we did episode 15, we did our Netflix pick of the week, and Mike picked The Horror Show, starring Lance Hendrickson, and it's actually known as House 3. When they sent it overseas, they just slapped House 3 on it. They had a better chance selling it that way.
Right. They do the name change a lot with movies like that.
Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that our show is some great important piece of the horror galaxy's puzzle or anything like that, or that what we do or say has any bearing on the cosmic forces of fate. Nonetheless, a very strange thing happened this week. After we picked that movie, about 3 or 4 days later, the director died.
Jim Isaac, yes.
Yeah, Jim Isaac, and he's more well known, I guess, to people for directing Jason X.
Among other things, yes.
What makes it so weird is that we picked the most obscure film.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. When we picked that movie, I was like, okay, I've never heard of this movie. And then just as I was about to watch it, I get that, and I'm like, are you kidding me? So
Yeah.
It just really freaked me out.
The most obscure movie in some pseudo-horror franchise, the director actually dies in between us recommending it and us reviewing it?
Yeah, that was weird.
Now, look, I've seen a lot of coincidences happen in my life, but none on a forum which a few hundred people could be witness to.
Yeah.
I mean, how many horror radio shows do you think recommended everyone watch The Horror Show last week?
4.
I was going to say 75.
If 75 people recommended that you watch The Horror Show last week, wow. But really, though, what are the chances, dude? That is an amazing coincidence right there.
Right. Well, we got to do it now. I was actually going to start the show up by saying, can we get out of this somehow?
Well, you know, we did have another death this week as well, unfortunately.
Who? Who's that?
The other day, the author of Where the Wild Things Are, Maurice Sendak, died.
Oh, well, that's all right. So
What do you mean that's all right? You heartless bastard.
Well,
do you not know Where the Wild Things Are?
I don't. Where are they?
Well, haven't you read that book ever? Didn't you grow up with it as a child?
No.
I am shocked and appalled at you, sir.
Mike, maybe if you picked Where the Wild Things Are for the movie of the week, then it would be.
That's not on Netflix, unfortunately. I wish it would be. I'm going to write to Netflix and have them stream it in his memory. I think that's the only thing that should happen right now.
All right. Thank you for that update, Mike. I'm sure a lot of people know who that was.
Disgraceful on your part. Continue.
So let's get to the horror show. I don't want to get too in-depth with this. We could touch on a few things about it. I don't know how many people who listen to the show actually put that on.
Hopefully not too many people wasted their time with it, because there was only really one good part in the film.
Right. All right. Well, this movie's from 1989. Like we said, it's originally called The Horror Show. They sent it overseas. They renamed it House 3. Now, the movie stars Lance Hendrickson, who's in almost every horror movie, it seems. His name is Lucas. And Max Jenke is, wasn't he in Tango and Cash, the villain Max Jenke?
Yeah, that was him.
He was better in Tango and Cash. Continue.
Dan, did you watch this movie or no?
I did. I watched it, man. I hated it.
All right, okay. Well, the movie starts off where Max Janke kills cops, deep fries them. He kills Lance Hendrickson's partner. He cut his arms off and hung him from a chain. Well, that stuff was pretty cool. I mean, it was cheese, but it was good. Then he had a standoff. He told Lance Hendrickson to drop the gun, or else he's going to chop a little girl's head off, which he proceeds to do, even though he drops the gun. So I
thought that was a dream, by the way.
No, I think it was a dream of what really happened, though.
Yeah, it's another just bullshit excuse for the film. Okay, continue.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool. He has this little girl in his arm, and he says, drop the gun. He drops it, and he still takes the meat cleaver, which is his weapon, and chops her head off, grabs it right away, and throws it to Lance Hendrickson.
It's like football.
It was like hot potato. Now, Dan, at that point, were you thinking, all right, this might be, it's cheesy, but it seems pretty hardcore at least?
It was okay. I mean, it was really good, actually. There were a couple of good scares. I liked that. I liked the part where he turned around and he thought it was his wife and it was the guy. That part actually really fucking made me jump. That was actually a jump scare moment, but... Yeah,
they did the double dream routine where...
Yeah.
He wakes up, and then all of a sudden it's Max Janke again, then he wakes up again.
Right. Yeah, that really did make me jump, and not a lot does. It takes a lot. Like, jump scares don't really get me a lot of the times, but that one did. I was like, holy shit. But, yeah, that was good. There were a couple good parts in it, but I don't know if it was enough to, make this movie redeemable in any sense.
They were all in the beginning, like... Mike, what about when Janke gets the chair and he's sitting there and then they run the electricity through him and then he kind of like his head lifts up again, he starts talking again, and then,
that was pretty cool.
No, I was like, you know what, just die already, dude. Seriously, it went on too long, and it just the whole beginning of the movie in general just felt like Shocker. You ever see that movie Shocker that Wes Craven directed back in '80? That came out, I believe, in '89 as well.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't. The movie itself didn't do it for me, and no disrespect to Jim Isaac, but I know Dan was saying before on first viewing. I'll be honest, on first viewing, I fell asleep.
You do realize you're making Jim turn over in his grave, right?
No, I'm not, because I think that Jim probably knew that this was a weaker film, and I think he saw Jason X in his future in 1989 and just, knew that this was a stepping stone to get to Jason X, so that was the whole thing.
All right. Well, Max Janke's body, his spirit comes out of his body, it goes into the power lines and shoots right over to Lance Hendrickson's house, and he hangs out in the furnace. Then you got some humor in this movie. This guy, Lance Hendrickson's son, if you were going to say that kid was a poor man's blah, blah, blah actor, who would you say that kid was a poor man's version of?
Corey Haim.
Dude, I swear to God, how did you get that so quick? That's so weird, because we didn't talk about that at all.
No, we're just good like that.
Yeah, and he wears those, homoerotic red cut-off belly shirts and, all the good 80s stuff.
He's got the headphones.
Yeah, I thought he was going to help Mark Patton clean his bedroom or something.
With those sunglasses.
Take this, Dad. Oh, how do you like that, Dad?
Bend over, Dad.
Yeah. Lucas starts having delusions, Lance Hendrickson. He sees this guy's face in a turkey. He sees him on TV, infiltrate TV shows. Now, what exact killer is that like?
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, it's so obvious, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and he's in a furnace?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Do you think they were even trying at that point? Like, that was so much alike, it was ridiculous. And then he had that laugh. That laugh just freaked me out. I was like, are you kidding me? It was so over the top and ridiculous.
Yeah, it was an obvious ripoff. I just can't believe he didn't have that glove on his hand when he came out to kill people. How come he didn't have the glove in one hand and a meat cleaver in the other hand? So he kills the daughter's boyfriend in the basement, Max Janke, and Lance Hendrickson gets pinned with it. The IA thinks he did it. They keep questioning him. So then all of a sudden, Hendrickson comes home. His son is dead. The daughter gets raped by this ghost, and his
How
face...
fucked up was that, dude?
Well, let's get to the end of this movie. So basically, the doctor said if you zap him with enough electricity, he'll become real again. So they make him hit a high voltage thing, and he becomes real. Then Lance Hendrickson shoots him, and he really dies. And that's it. Like, it was like, okay, we got that out of the way. Let's go back to our normal life. Okay, now here's the inconsistencies.
Right.
Suddenly, all the kids are alive again.
Yeah, what the fuck?
That was, you know what that is? Nightmare 1.
Yeah. Like the whole thing was a dream or something.
Yep.
So, James Isaac, rest in peace. Hopefully nobody threw that movie in the coffin with you.
Yeah, that was a little bit over the line, I think, but oh well.
You think I should delete that?
Nah, leave it in there.
Yeah, it was over the line. Yeah,
All right, well, now that we got that piece of shit out of the way,
Yeah.
Mike, from now on, I will pick the Netflix recommendations, if you don't mind.
Dude, I got it. How about the Psycho remake?
No.
Dude,
oh, God, no.
I'm unwilling.
dude, dude, that would be perfect.
For what?
Because then we can rip it. Because you've never seen it.
Dude, I can't watch it.
Have you ever, Alex?
No, I refuse. It's one of those, like, purist things.
Oh, man, you should watch it just to rip it, dude. Actually, that'd be perfect for you, Alex, dude.
Yeah, especially since you love Psycho so much.
Since you've never seen it either, dude? That's actually perfect, dude. I don't know, Alex. I'm kind of with Mike on this, dude. We should, because you're such a Psycho fan. You're such a psycho.
I want to keep it out of my mind.
Dude, but you gotta, dude. But you seriously, you should, because, dude, I swear to God, dude, you don't understand. Hearing you fucking be so distraught and destroy this movie would make my life.
I don't think I can because...
Alex, it's not heroin, it's fucking Psycho.
No, it's the same damn movie. What would I say?
It's not, though.
Believe me. It may be shot for shot, but it is not the same movie because they do not play it properly. Dude, because it's 1998 and they talk like they're from the 60s.
You know what it feels like being forced to watch this movie? I think the equivalent would be if I got locked up and I was in jail and that first moment when two guys hold your arms and two guys hold your legs and then they start unbuckling your pants and you know what's coming and you just start clenching your eyes down and you go, just do it.
I can't wait to rip this shit apart.
Wow, this is going to be a nightmare. Okay, thank you for that. All right, let's get on to a normal movie.
Yes.
As you know, last week we interviewed the director of Detention of the Dead. We got an advanced copy of the movie.
Yes.
All three of us, and we all watched it. Now, we can't give you a spoiler review. And by the way, House 3 had a lot of spoiler reviews. Do you guys mind that we spoiled that one?
Spoil movie from '89. Yeah.
That movie was spoiled when I got done filming it.
You're not kidding. That was a good one, Alex. That was really good, buddy.
Okay, so anyway, we watched Detention of the Dead. Let's, all three of us, and I'm sure we'll have a little discussion back and forth. I said, we can't get too into it. We can't blow it for these people.
Who's your favorite female in the film?
This movie is so distracting, I could hardly pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah.
They have the hottest girl throughout this movie, that blonde chick.
Well, both of them were pretty attractive. I enjoyed the gothic one as well, but the blonde, I think, was both of them were great, but the blonde is by far my favorite.
Flawless. Dan, yeah. I know you're very picky, and you want girls with depth, and the only depth I look for is about now you're looking for emotional depth.
No, I agree with you, man. That chick's smoking.
It feels more like a comedy to me. Definitely, you can see similarities to The Breakfast Club and even to Shaun of the Dead, like Alex was saying last week in the interview. But I think overall it was a very strong, very well put together film.
What'd you think, Alex?
I think, like Mike said, it's more of a Breakfast Club movie than it even is a horror movie.
Right.
Yeah.
It's almost, I would say the ratio is 80-20, 80 being not horror.
Right.
It always had touches of horror. It gave you little sprinkles here and there. Sometimes I felt like I wasn't watching a horror movie. It was almost like the zombies were secondary.
Oh, very much so, Alex. I thought that right off the bat, actually, because you could tell it was all about the characters and setting them up, and I noticed a lot even when they were going through the halls. I mean, most of the zombies didn't even attack them half the time. They just slid right by them, so they weren't even a threat half the time. It was just all about, getting the characters from one spot to the other, or character development or something like that.
Exactly. The zombies were used to explore cliche characters.
Yes.
Right.
I think that's what it was all about.
It felt like, to me, a coming-of-age story with zombies, so to speak. Like, infused with zombies.
And I also noticed about the movie, they got right into the zombies within like 5 minutes.
Right.
Yep.
That was that's weird because they got right into it, yet they didn't have the impact I thought they would in the movie.
What'd you think of the look of the zombies?
They were good, solid.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have a lot of these movies that end in "of the dead." So of the dead movies, I think this one ranks up there because there's a lot of movies with those kind of titles, and
Yeah. Well, here's the telltale sign. Mike, will you buy this on Blu-ray?
If the price point is between $10 and $15, yes, I will.
All right, guys. So we got Jason Christopher calling in a few minutes. He is the writer and director of the new indie horror movie
Also, Down the Road, also known as Punishment overseas, like House and stuff. But anyway, thinking of that, we forgot to give our rating for House 3 and, the horror show, and Detention of the Dead.
Oh, you want to? Yeah, right. We have to rate those movies. Okay. Dan?
So yeah, I'd probably say 3 for House 3.
3 for 3.
And then Detention, I'd probably say 7.
Okay, Mike?
For House 3, or the horror show, I also give it a 3. For Detention of the Dead, I would give that an 8.
Okay. I give House 3 a 4.5, and I give Detention of the Dead a 7 for the overall movie and a 10 for the blonde.
Nice.
Oh, one up me there. That's wonderful, sir.
How hot a girl is about all I seem to care about lately. I'm surprised I just don't go right to porn. I mean, why sit through the murders? Well, anyway, I can't wait for this nightmare for the Psycho. Everybody watch Psycho on Netflix, the remake, 1998.
Yes.
And
That'll be fun.
That'll be fun. We'll be back in a minute. Kane Hodder gets a mention on the Howard Stern Show.
Kane Hodder, he is Jason, believe it or not, and he was asked if he gets recognized for being Jason. There's a new Jason movie.
Oh, come on. Who would know Kane Hodder?
Gets
True horror fans or anyone that is really a fan of these films knows what I look like.
Oh,
so
come
once in a
on.
while,
How'd they find
I
out?
know my face isn't very widely known.
Okay.
He's so crazy. He means those guys who go to conventions. And he was asked why he likes being recognized.
Having been a stuntman for so long, I was used to the
This guy's still waiting to get into Nobu. Are you kidding?
anonymity of the whole business.
I want to take a camera and walk down the street with Kane Hodder and ask 20,000 people if they know who he is. The guy who wears the Jason hockey
I've been
mask.
watching those movies for 30 years, and I didn't know who he was.
His mom doesn't even recognize him.
Don't let it get to you, Mr. Hodder. Hodder. We know who you are, the Skeleton Crew. Exclusively at horrorbid.com. Alright, we're back, and we're here with the writer and director of Down the Road, Jason Christopher. How you doing, Jason?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What was that, man?
Oh, nothing. We just killed 15 minutes reviewing a total piece of shit movie. Did you ever hear of House 3?
Is it a third one?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's called House 3, a.k.a. The Horror Show with Lance Henriksen.
Oh, no, I didn't. I gave up after House. And then I started watching House 2, and I was like, all right, I'm done.
See, now this is the kind of guy. This is my kind of guy. Mike, how can you sit through House 2 and then recommend it to people?
Because it's awesome. Dude, we love Uncle Jesse. He is like the cornerstone of the film.
Oh, boy.
Oh, God.
All right, Jason, well, obviously your movie is down the road. Can you just tell us a little bit about it?
All right, the movie is about a group of college students that escape their troubled lives, but only to fight for their lives from a revenge-seeking madman who is a father that witnessed his daughter getting killed by a car accident, well, by a bunch of drunk teenagers, and now he's just out for blood.
Right.
I mean, it's your typical horror movie, you know. I mean, it's an homage flick, you know. I made it for the horror fans by a horror fan, you know. I'm not trying to reinvent anything here. I mean, it's just something that I want to pay thanks to when I grew up watching.
Exactly. Like, what are your influences? What are your, like, would you say your top 3 or so movies that really, like, said, you know, I want to make one of my own?
I love Sleepaway Camp. I love The Prowler. Black Christmas 1976 version, 74 version is my favorite. That's my favorite all-time just horror movie. But I mean, like, I didn't like watch Friday the 13th. It was like, I want to make a movie just like that takes place in the woods.
Right.
It was just kind of like, everybody knows that you're in for a horror movie if you're in the woods, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
It just fits the tone so right.
Yeah. This was your first major picture.
Yeah.
Now, what did you learn from this experience that you would take with you to the next one?
Everything. Everything. Literally. I mean, the first stuff on a movie set was my own. The first day that we started filming.
Right.
First ever. And everyone's like, yeah, so you know how this is going, right? And I'm just like, yeah, totally. And like, I never went to college. I got all my knowledge from watching a shit ton of movies. Like, the bonus features are the best thing out there. I mean, I would rather spend $20,000 on a shit ton of movies as opposed to spending $90,000 to go to college to listen to some guy tell me what to do and follow a formula and structure. And I'd rather just learn on my own. I mean, when someone tells me something anyway, it's like in one ear and out the other.
Right.
I learned how to edit my own. I learned how to work a camera my own, do everything myself. And if someone else was trying to tell me what to do, I would just like, what? But if I sit there, figure it out on my own, I'm a hands-on person. So, I mean, it's a lot better.
You made a movie this solid with no formal teaching?
I mean, besides whatever Quentin Tarantino talked about, Edgar Wright talked about, no. I went to New York Film School for a 1-week program down in Florida. That sounds so dumb. Went to New York Film School in Florida. But I went there for a 1-week intense program that tells you how to work a certain camera. So right when I got out of film school from that 1-week training thing, I went out, got the camera that we use, and then I just did a bunch of shorts on that and just went with the gun with that one, you know.
It came off really good. I love the movie, first off, man. I really do. And, like you said, you weren't trying to, break new ground or anything, but that's what I liked about it. It was a simple slasher. Horror fans, we get stuff like that, obviously. And to see it done the way it was, very realistic, too. And, I was thinking one of the most disturbing parts of the whole movie was when all the kills happened and all the thuds, the hammer made and all that stuff. It was so real. That was the kind of stuff that made me cringe.
Awesome.
And that's the kind of stuff that I like. And it didn't come off amateurish at all, I must say.
Nice. Very nice. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, they would say to me, there's a couple, I don't know if you're on the Facebook page, you can see them, and there's some pictures where it's one of the main characters, and it'll say, you will see her die. That's just, the title that it says on there, and then it'll say, down the road on there with, a billing block. And, some people will be like, well, why are you telling that you're going to see her die? I'm like, dude, it's a horror movie. We know that they're going to die. What the hell am I trying to hide here? You know what I mean? It's just go for the story and just the fun of it. You know what I mean? We all know that people are going to die.
Yeah, it's like having on the poster, the Titanic sinks in this one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, that's what me and my producer, Devin Lavasio, we go to the movies, here and there together, just, get some motivation. And this one, Titanic was re-released, and I think we went to go see Cabin in the Woods. And we're just like, what is Titanic? And, like, the lady looked at us through the glass like, are you guys retarded or something?
Devin's a great guy, too. What did you guys think about Cabin in the Woods? Did you like it?
I dug it. I mean, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a little different. I mean, it was a different approach. I don't think it's gonna, like, a lot of, like, even what, like, you guys were saying, like, oh, it's like how some people are saying it's the new face of horror, or it's gonna be a big change. I don't really necessarily think that, but it was a fun movie to watch. I totally enjoyed it. When Devin walked out of the theater, he was just like, So I don't really know what his opinion was on it. Like, he just was like, yeah, I mean, it was cool. Wait till it comes on HBO. The ending was just like, galore of gore. It was awesome. It was pretty cool.
So the state of horror in general, what do you think about it nowadays? With all the stuff coming out, I mean, do you think it's getting better, worse? What do you think?
I mean, that's a hard question, really. I mean, because, like Ty West's movie, The Innkeepers, like, I thought that was a phenomenal horror movie, but it's a different type of horror movie, you know? Slasher-wise, like, my buddy out in L.A., Eric England, he made this movie called Madison County. I enjoyed that movie. That was pretty cool. That just came out yesterday, I think it was. I mean, that was a cool movie. It was a cool slasher flick, you know? But as of, like people, everybody's trying to change everything. Like, and that's cool. It's great. But we've been there. We've done that before. Why don't we just try to, like, stick with the horror genre that everybody does like and not try to make something new? And, you know, it just gets lost in the pile because you tried to make something new. And it was so good, but no one's going to acknowledge it. It sucks. This industry sucks. I don't even know why I want to do it.
Well, you know what? You know why they're doing that? Because, think about it, all we're doing is rehashing all the old movies, so actually we're kind of crying for something new when you think about it. I mean, they're not doing straight-up slasher movies anymore. It's either, like,
no, they're not, yeah,
torture movies or like, now the found footage thing with ghosts.
Yeah.
You know, so I think if when you just keep going backwards to go forwards, you eventually say, look, why are we doing that? Let's, you know, what do we have no more imagination? And they just trying to come up with something new. And I guess Cabin in the Woods tried that, and they wanted to be a game changer. And I'm not even sure. I mean, where would you actually go from there? What is every movie going to be like?
Meta Central, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a place to go.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, like, that movie was made in, I think it was made in 2009, and now it just came out. So, I mean, I think they're just like, oh, the Avengers is coming out. Let's put out this movie too. Oh, Thor came out. Chris Hemsworth is huge now. Let's just put it out now. It's going to sell.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I mean, it sucks. It really does. It's a shame that so many movies aren't as big as they are. Like, Adam Green's one of my favorite, and, like, the Hatchet movies, they do great, but they could be so much bigger than they aren't, you know?
Right. Exactly. I totally agree. I think everybody wants to change it, but nobody's really got the answer. You know, where do you go? How far do you push it without it being too much to where, you know, like Hatchet, like, you know, there's so much comedy in that, and you can go that route, or you could go the route that you went. That's a realistic kind of stuff and just really fun stuff overall. But, you know, from there, I don't know. I don't think anybody knows really. Like you said, Ty West, there's a movie, you know, movies like that come out. They're making good flicks, but as far as pushing the genre into something, I don't know. I don't think anybody's got the answer at this point in the game.
Yeah, and it's a shame. So,
right.
You know, we wanted to play a little game with you here. We came up with something.
Uh-oh.
It's called the remake game. You know, since we're talking about the state of horror, I figured, how about we play this? Can you successfully rank the 4 major remakes in order of how much money they made?
Uh-oh. Oh, wait, hold on. So whatever remake it was, like, put them in order of how much money they made for a remake?
Like who made the most, who made the least. And here's the 4 choices.
All right.
The Halloween remake, the Friday the 13th remake, the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Which do you think people took to the most? And obviously money is the telltale answer. Who do you think made the most out of those?
All right, I'm going to have to say Texas Chainsaw Massacre first.
Yep.
The Friday the 13th second, Halloween third, and then Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, you were so close.
Halloween was last?
Yep.
Yep. Can you believe that?
That's like the only fucking good one.
That's what I said. Exactly. Yeah, tell him, what's What's the ranking, Alex?
Texas Chainsaw, 80 million. 80.5. Friday the 13th, 65 million. Nightmare on Elm Street, 63 million. And Halloween, 58.2.
Oh,
wow.
Can't believe that.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Because, like, I went to go see, I saw all of those remakes in the theater, and the only one that I seriously wanted to walk out on was A Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, I watched the first 10 minutes of it. I watched the first 10 minutes of it, and I was like to my ex-girlfriend, I was like, you want to get out of here? And I was like, fuck it, never mind. I spent $20 on the damn ticket. You watch this movie.
You sit down.
Yeah.
You sit down now. But no, that's a shame. Like, and it's a shame, too, because that movie had so much potential to be a really good remake, but it wasn't. I mean, they had Kyle Gallner, who is one of, like, the best actors, I think, that's out there for his age. Rooney Mara is phenomenal, and she's in that. And like they had all the right formulas, but the script was just like, what the hell is this?
It was probably all. Guys, would we agree? That's our least favorite of the remakes.
Oh,
God,
fuck
yeah.
that movie. Completely uninspired.
What a piece of shit, man. Like, that was just... I don't mean to be so frank. All right, well, here, let's go back to your movie now. Did you ever think about selling this flick through Amazon?
Right. Well, I mean, we actually, me and Devin know a buddy who actually sold his movie through Amazon, The Sleeper.
Yeah.
And last I heard, he's doing pretty decent with it. I'm not sure, though. Don't hold me to that. I haven't talked to him. Devin talks to him a lot more than I do. But apparently he's doing really, really good with that. I mean, and, like, for the first time around making a movie, I don't want to do it myself. Like what Kevin Smith did with Red State. I mean, he's been in the game for over 10 years, more than, almost 20 years, or more than 20 years, if anything. So he knew what to do correctly. I mean, I had this talk with Devin last night about, because we're like in talks with doing a new movie, and I was just like, whatever we do it down the road on this one, we're doing the complete opposite because we know this route, and it's just nothing but frustration. I mean, it's really hard. We're a bunch of nobodies. We have a movie that has nobody in it besides Clint Howard, so it's really hard to sell. So that's why we turned to, not why, but like one of the reasons why we turned to a sales rep was to just help get it out there more and have promotion behind it and have a bunch of stuff behind it. So to get that push to hopefully sell better than, going with just some company that's going to be like, oh yeah, great movie. Yeah, we'll buy it and put it on a shelf at Walmart and it will be out. It won't be on the shelf after a month. You know what I mean? So it's that's why I learned so much about the game from day one that we started doing pre-production. It's been a wild ride of just learning, and I mean it's fun, but it's also the most stressful thing in the world too.
Right. This movie, when you went to the sales rep, they actually had you change the name of the movie to do what? The overseas thing, like the way the horror show turned to House 3.
Well, like at first they were like, well, before we even signed with them, they were just like, yeah, we might want to change the name of the movie, but we're not 100% sure. I'm just like, all right, I mean, whatever. So then after I had a few phone calls with them and a couple meetings with them, they didn't even talk about the name change. So I'm like, all right, cool. I think we'll be able to keep the name good. And then after we signed it, they're just like, the president of the company is like, we're going to name it Punishment, and the tagline's going to be a father. I forget what it was. It was just like something on the lines of like, a father gets his revenge. I was just like, Jesus fucking Christ. I was like, if that movie doesn't scream Walmart's $5 bin, I don't know what the hell else does. But after, I mean, we talked and talked about it, and then I was just at the point, I was like, because I tried to separate it. I was like, all right, how about we have down the road to states and just foreign-wise we just have it as Punishment. And I tried to go that route, but that was so hard to, like, kind of keep up. I'm like, yeah, check out for Down the Road / Punishment. And they're like, I'd go to, like, the bar and, like, someone would call up and be like, oh, you made a new movie called Punishment. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is not going to work. So I'm just like, all right, well, I'm not doing that. So then the day that I was just like, all right, let's just name the title Punishment, and that's it. I did that on Friday, I announced that, and I never got so many emails and phone calls and text messages or Facebook posts or messages in my life, just like, why the name change? What are you doing here? That's a stupid title, this. So I'm just like, shit. So I called the president at our sales reps. I was like, listen, we're keeping Down the Road for U.S., and you can do whatever you want punishment-wise over foreign. I mean, if that's what's going to have to work here, that's what we're going to do, but I want to keep Down the Road. I like Down the Road. It's been stuck with me since I've been 17 years old, wrote the script as Down the Road. It just sounds stupid to me as punishment. And then, like, a lot of people were just questioning, like, well, why the name change overseas? And in my personal opinion, I think it's just to get the point across, like, 100 times easier. Because I was out with this one guy that plays in a band called the Ting Tings, like, about a month ago, and we're chatting. I'm like, yeah, you know, the movie's going to be called Punishment overseas. And he's like, oh, well, what is it called in the States? I'm like, Down the Road. And he was just like, Punishment makes so much more sense. I'm like, all right. And he's like, Punishment makes a lot more sense over here. I was just like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
So I think it just gets to the point over there a lot quicker. It just makes more sense.
Yeah, well, there's also a movie over there called A Guy Who Kills People, and that's doing very well, I heard.
Yeah, that just came out too, I think, didn't it?
Yeah, it's on Blu-ray right now.
Yeah. So I mean, if that's what's gonna have to work, hey, I guess whatever.
Mm.
But I mean, I'm not 100% happy about it. But I mean, then I started thinking, I'm like, Alien was titled The Eighth Passenger of the Nostromo over in Poland. Jaws is like called The Big Great White Shark down in like Australia. I'm like, I can fit into these titles. Down the Road, Punishment.
Right.
Brain Dead, aka Dead Alive.
Yeah.
So
it's been happening for years. So
yeah, it's nothing new. Well, what are you working on next?
I mean, there's two scripts that. Well, actually, there was first one script that I had that it's a ghost story. Just because I have like my whole family just believes in ghosts, and we have so many wild stories, and I love ghost stories. So I really wanted to write a script that's based on a ghost story, but I wanted to do something different. So at the end of it all, I really Shyamalan a lot of people. So everybody who's read the script so far, they're just like, holy shit, I was not expecting the last 10 pages. I was like, yeah.
Wow.
So
Awesome.
So like that's what I was going for. But so that's going to be really, really cool. And I'm talking like we're actually like from learning from Down the Road, we're like, all right, well, we have to have named people in the movie to just really just grab audience. So there's a lot of cool people that are on the list that we're reaching out to, and there's one person who I can't say any names yet, but there's one person who's just like, just send the script over. I'm just like, all right, cool. So I'm really, really stoked about working on the next one. But until last night, Devin's like, what's that one script that you had? So I pulled out this other script that I had, and then we're just kind of like, this is really cool too. So I don't know, we're just like kind of like balancing which one would be like more marketable to do and just what we can afford to do. So
right. Yeah, hey, it's good to have choices. Mike's been writing the same script for, what, 14 years, Mike?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, so it's nice to have choices.
You're like Peter Jackson with his first movie, how it took 7 years to make.
Exactly. Except mine will be shit when it's done.
Mike made years ago, so.
Yeah. And it'll still be shit when it's done, so it doesn't matter really. So.
Yeah, well...
Jesus.
It's guerrilla filmmaking at its finest, sir.
Oh, boy. Well, we all love the movie, man. I guess people could find you on Facebook, and they could look up the trailer on YouTube?
Yeah, man. On the YouTube, just go on YouTube and type in Down the Road, and it's like the third one down or something like that. Or you can watch the Barn Punishment trailer just by typing in Punishment Official Barn trailer, I think it is.
Right.
I'm on Twitter at JayMay, JayMay. So, I mean, follow me. We could chat, bullshit, whatever you guys want to do.
Yep, sounds good, man. Well, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Well, there you have it. Check out the trailer for Down the Road, or check out the trailer for Punishment, as it's known overseas. We'll be right back.
My name is Cliff, brother of Joe. I got me some crack. I want me some hoes. Let me hear you say yeah. Yeah. Let me hear you say yeah.
Yeah.
Let me hear you say yeah.
It's time for Horror Headlines. All right, the Horror Bid Headlines. Well, this week we got Piranhaconda. Did you guys see the trailer for that?
Of course.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Part fish, part snake, all killer. Roger Corman is at it again. Attacks a movie crew on location near where her eggs were stolen. Now they...
I love Roger Corman, but why doesn't he just make a Piranha 3? Like, you know, he made, in 1978, he made a movie called Piranha, you know, the original. And then in 81, there was Piranha 2 that James Cameron did. Why doesn't he just make a Piranha 3 and just not do this Piranha-conda crap, please? Thank you.
I just can't believe that James Cameron did Piranha 2.
That was his, dude, that was his claim to fame, dude, from 1981.
I watched the trailer. This movie showed way too much of the snake in the trailer. The effects look about as bad as the alligators in the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie Eraser.
There were alligators in Eraser?
Yes.
I don't remember that.
There weren't. There were cartoons of alligators in Eraser. They were supposed to be alligators, but
right.
That was the early days of CGI, and it suffers greatly.
Yeah.
The snake looks completely fake, and but they do have really hot girls in this movie.
Yeah.
That's all I really care about.
Yeah.
We got Prometheus. 20th Century Fox has confirmed Ridley Scott's upcoming Alien prequel. It's called Prometheus. It has an R rating. Both Ridley Scott and the Fox CEO have been hinting that the film will end up in PG-13, however.
Yeah, just make an Alien 5 and screw this prequel crap. I want Ripley back. Thank you.
Well, weren't the last two terrible? 3 and Resurrection horrible?
3 was good. Resurrection, I couldn't even make it through. But I liked 3.
Yeah. If you guys are fans, the Nostalgia Critic just reviewed the Resurrection. He just put it up Tuesday.
Yeah, that's a nightmare.
That's about the only way to watch that movie.
Gentlemen, I have breaking news on the show right now.
Oh my God! You heard it here first. You heard it here first. Go ahead. Come on.
What is it, Mike? What is it?
Breaking news. My office will contact you on our next available date for Mr. Trejo to do press. Thank you.
Come on.
Danny Trejo?
Yeah.
Is on our show?
He will be, sir.
Machete.
What do I say to a guy like that?
I have no idea, but you will have your chance.
That's fucking awesome.
Jesus Christ.
Did you just get that email?
That's why I said breaking news.
That's some gangsta-ass shit right there.
Wow, it's like we're legit.
Almost.
Right?
Almost, yeah.
Well, yeah, we're legit.
Oh, well. Okay.
Sorry, guys, continue.
Yeah. The Collector sequel, The Collection, coming soon.
I want to see it because dude, the first one, have you seen The Collector?
I couldn't make it through 20 minutes.
Really? Can I tell you a little story about The Collector? I think you'll appreciate this. This is how crazy I am.
I used to collect porno magazines in the basement, and my father came
No. I went to the movies to see this film. I didn't enjoy it. It was released as a blockbuster exclusive in February of 2010. And the original Blu-ray release date wasn't until April 26th, but Blockbuster got it 2 months early. I actually went into Blockbuster and bought the Blu-ray from them. Like, I rented it, and then I ended up just buying it from them. I paid like $40 for it, just to get it 2 months early.
Wow.
And you see what we're dealing with.
And I hated the film when I first saw it, but then after I paid $40 for it and I watched it 2 months early on Blu-ray, I enjoyed it for some reason.
$40, you better love that shit.
I won't even buy my favorite movies in the world till they're less than $15.
Yeah.
Right.
This
guy buys movies he hates just because these guys got it early.
Yeah, because I need to get movies early. Like, that's just my thing. If
my
there's
name
an
is Mike Sagovich, I have a problem.
Dude, like fucking Mission Impossible 3. I went into Blockbuster and they had it days early for $25 on DVD.
Yeah,
and
but that's
just
a good
to get
movie.
it. Well, but I wasn't going to buy it, and I saw it there for $25, and I'm like, you know what? It's 2 days early. I gotta buy it. So I
just had to have it.
Yep.
And guess what? He didn't watch it for 4 months.
I still haven't watched it, and I've had it since 2006.
Oh my God. Ooh.
And you know what's messed up? I just bought the Mission Impossible Blu-ray set with the three of them, and I still haven't watched it.
Have you seen the new one?
No, I want to watch the third one before I watch the new one, but I have all four of them on Blu-ray now.
That shit came out like 10 years ago.
Oh my God. All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
Okay, a few short weeks ago, it was reported that Malcolm Lee was hired to direct Scary Movie 5. Now,
They're bringing it back to the proper person. That's good.
but they're not bringing back a person. Anna Faris has stated several times that she would love to play Cindy Campbell again, but it appears the studio is not interested.
Maybe the studio's thinking they're actually going to spoof, I don't know, maybe scary movies in this one?
Wouldn't that be, see, that would be a kind of a twist in horror.
That's jumping the shark, I think, at that point, though.
Cabin in the Woods was like commenting on commenting. Now, this would be joking on joking.
Right. Exactly. Well, look at how much that series changed. From the first one being basically mainly spoofing Scream, a little bit of, I know you did last summer and various other ones, but second one, they went back a little bit, did The Exorcist and stuff like that. But then by the third, fourth, fifth one, I mean, you just got into sci-fi territory, so yeah. I don't even know. It's not even like a scary movie spoof series anymore.
Speaking of Cabin in the Woods, I saw this really stupid comment online. I'm going to go over. You guys tell me what you think of it, all right? I thought it was really smart. If you're not a die-hard intelligent person, this movie's going to go over your head, and you're going to be like, oh, I don't get it. I read that, and that makes no sense.
If you're not a die-hard intelligent person, what does that even mean?
I don't know. I read it, and I'm like, the person that wrote that obviously...
They think they're smart because they enjoyed Cabin in the Woods.
I would imagine that's what they're probably saying.
You don't have to be smart to get that movie at all.
I think I got to be smarter just to get that the quote because it
right.
Yeah,
seriously.
I think the smart person is the guy who wrote the movie. Am I mistaken? Why are you smart? Because you watched it and liked it.
I don't know.
Does Hollywood normally write really hard to get movies for mass audiences that watch horror films?
I guess.
I don't think so. I think horror films are about as dumb as they come.
Well, some are. Some are smart.
A couple.
Scream is smart.
Scream is smart, but it's not that hard to get. It's not like you have to, like a die-hard intelligence. You don't have to be intelligent to enjoy this movie. So what? If you do, it's like saying if you don't like The Shining, you're an idiot.
I don't think it falls in that category, man. I don't think Cabin in the Woods does. I mean, if you want to talk smart movies, there are smart movies, and I just don't think it's... I don't think any horror movies are really that smart, to be perfectly honest with you.
That's just the most bizarre thing. I think an idiot wrote that.
I think so.
So that person thinks they're smart because they enjoyed a movie. So we did a review, we got it, and we didn't like it. And I think we explained it all pretty well and laid it out pretty well. I think we got it, but we don't like it.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, you guys didn't. I know I liked it, but I got the aspects of its commentary on the genre. Is that what he's talking about? Or
I don't know.
And even that, it's not even that smart. Like, I got it right off the bat, and I connected the dots. I said, oh, okay. I mean, they even call the director, like they fucking name the person that. So it's not that hard to get, like, who's who and what's what and what they're commenting on. But I don't think you have to be that intelligent. I mean, I'm not that intelligent, and I got it.
No,
so.
Dan, obviously you're the smart one on the show.
Yeah, I would think so, Dan.
Dan's the smartest, Mike's second, and I'm third.
No, I would say that Dan's probably the smartest. I think you're probably second, Alex, and I think I'm the dumbest person you've ever listened to.
I don't think anyone's ever categorized me as a smart person, Mike.
I think we all know who's who and what's what.
Yeah, I'm getting hit with shrapnel all week.
Oh, jeez.
The whole show is. All right, Beetlejuice 2, confirmed as a sequel.
Yes.
All major characters may return. I can't say I've been waiting for this.
I have. I don't, look, I just, honestly, I don't know how they're going to do it, because Beetlejuice is supposed to be a supernatural being, and no offense to Michael Keaton, I love the dude. He's a great actor, one of my favorites. I don't know if even makeup will help capture that part still, because I don't think he looks the same.
Really? Dude, the Beetlejuice makeup will definitely work in that situation, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I'm not excited about this movie, but whatever. It's something kind of cool.
Yeah, I really could care less either way.
Well, I can just tell you, I don't know if Tim Burton's going to be involved or not. Personally, after Dark Shadows, I think Tim Burton should never make another movie again after.
Well, actually, Tim Burton just made a new movie called Frankenweenie about a dog that came back to life like Frankenstein.
He's been trying to do that for like 20 years, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he finally got it done.
It's been forever in development. Oh, God.
You guys see the trailer for Carnival?
Carnival?
Carniville?
Carniville.
C-A-R-N-I-E. Capital V-I-L-L-E.
Carniville.
Okay, it's supposedly like some kind of throwback 80s clown horror movie. The trailer is horrendous. It's a clown juggling and staring at some guy who's staring back at him, and he just dances
Clown
and
House
dances.
is probably better. Fuck it.
Clown House was horrible. I couldn't even make it through that. That was
You're
the
on drugs.
worst.
Okay, continue.
Dude, that was the worst movie ever.
Dude, Clown House is the shiz.
It was unwatchable.
Have you guys seen Funhouse?
Dude, I just said Clown House is great.
No, wait, did you say... I thought you said Clown House. No, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Wow, I'm really stupid. Let's move along.
I thought you were the smart one because you liked Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Well, that theory's just blown all to hell. Oh,
Yeah,
well.
I guess everyone who likes that movie isn't smart.
I hate you guys.
Cinco de Mayo is actually some guys making a movie about that.
Yeah, Darren Lynn Bousman, whose Mother's Day remake streeted it this week.
Well, is that good news? Did you watch that remake?
No, I'm actually going to probably watch that this weekend because I ordered the Blu-ray DVD combo pack for $17.96 from Amazon, so I'll probably watch it this weekend.
Yeah, or by 2016.
Oh!
All right. Well, the biggest news of the week, I believe, is Sofia Viagra is going to be...
You mean Vargera?
No, she's Viagra.
Dude, honestly, she's not Viagra for me. I don't find her attractive in the least.
Excuse me?
Dude.
Mike, you are off the show.
Dude, she's not that great.
Oh, my God.
The accent just really kind of like, it kills me. I think that it's like, well, because I watch her on that Modern Family show every week, and I love her on that.
Well, I would love her on me, but either way.
Now, if that blonde chick from Detention of the Dead was coming to Machete Kills, then I'd be like, all right, let's do this.
This movie, to work on the set of this movie must be heaven. You got Jessica Alba, Amber Heard, Michelle Rodriguez.
Amber Heard's in it? Oh, my God.
Michelle Rodriguez. It's like, to me, it's like being in heaven.
Dude, and you can ask Danny Trejo soon what it was like to work with them. We all know your M.O. by now, though, so it doesn't really matter.
What do you mean, my M.O.?
Your M.O. of liking the Spanish chicks.
Oh, screw you. We all know that you we all know that you like flat chicks. So what's up?
Yeah, that's fine. Hey. In my defense, Janet, or her name is Krista B. Allen in real life, from Detention of the Dead.
Oh yes, I looked her up. Yes, I know her name.
You're damn right you did, because I did too. Dude, first of all, she's not flat. She's just very, very petite in that area, which is lovely.
In that area.
Yeah. Guys, Mel Gibson's also going to be in this Machete Kills, and I have a clip from him right here. Here you go. So there you go.
Wow.
Now, if he were to yell that to those 3 girls, or 4 girls, I don't think they would have obliged.
No.
And I don't think anybody smiles when they blow him.
Well, I think his ex-girlfriend did before he beat her up.
Mel, you don't, it's your imagination, Mel. I didn't do nothing. I did just smile and blow you by the jacuzzi, Mel.
Oh, my God.
All right, well, let's cap this off with some real horror news. Evil Dead remake began filming.
Oh, yeah. Jane Levy. I don't want to see the movie because female Ash, the concept of that just sucks. Sam Raimi is a money-hungry bastard. The only reason to watch the movie is I don't like Suburgatory that showed it, that Jane Levy's in the redhead that's playing the female Ash. But I like her. I think she's incredibly attractive, so that is the only reason I will watch the film. And I will buy it on Blu-ray because she's...
Of course you will.
Everything is Blu-ray.
Of course it is.
What's a Blu-ray?
It's as if saying I'll buy it on Blu-ray means it's even more than a stand. Like, when we used to say I'm going to get the DVD, do you think that had as much punch to it as saying I'm going to buy the Blu-ray? I don't think it did.
Of course it did. No, it did, because DVDs
Blu-rays cost more.
No.
Yeah, but DVDs did as well when they first started.
Yeah, dude, I remember going into Best Buy and looking at the new movies, the DVDs, like 5 or 6 years ago or something, and new movies were like $25.
No shit. Yeah, that's true, actually. Good call. Touche, stuff.
But now the Blu-rays are $35, but that's besides the fact. All right, well, there you go. So that was the horror bid headlines, guys. All right, guys, shit show. Bad job, and...
Yeah. Don't forget Psycho next week. Everybody's got to watch the 1998
Gus Van Sant
Psycho remake.
Oh, can't wait, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to review that piece of shit.
Right.
All right, guys. We're out.
See you next week.
Arrivederci, baby.
I was like, okay, I've never heard of this movie. And then just as I was about to watch it, I get that, and I'm like, are you kidding me? So it just really freaked me out.
The most obscure movie in some pseudo-horror franchise, the director actually dies in between us recommending it and us reviewing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird.
Now, look, I've seen a lot of coincidences happen in my life, but none on a forum which a few hundred people could be witness to.
Yeah.
I mean, how many horror radio shows do you think recommended everyone watch the horror show last week?
4.
I was going to say 75.
If 75 people recommended that you watch the horror show last week, wow.
But really, though, what are the chances, dude? That is an amazing coincidence right there.
Right. Well, we got to do it now. I was actually going to start the show up by saying, can we get out of this somehow?
Well, you know, we did have another death this week as well, unfortunately.
Who? Who's that?
The other day, the author of Where the Wild Things Are, Maurice Sendak, died.
Oh, well, that's all right. So
what do you mean that's all right? You heartless bastard.
Well,
do you not know Where the Wild Things Are?
I don't. Where are they?
Well, haven't you read that book ever? Didn't you grow up with it as a child?
No.
I am shocked and appalled at you, sir.
Like, maybe if you picked Where the Wild Things Are for the movie of the week, then it would be.
That's not on Netflix, unfortunately. I wish it would be. I'm going to write to Netflix and have them stream it in his memory. I think that's the only thing that should happen right now.
All right. Thank you for that update, Mike. I'm sure a lot of people know who that was.
Disgraceful on your part. Continue.
So let's get to the horror show. I don't want to get too in-depth with this. We could touch on a few things about it. I don't know how many people who listen to the show actually put that on.
Hopefully not too many people wasted their time with it, because there was only really one good part in the film.
Right. All right. Well, this movie's from 1989. Like we said, it's originally called The Horror Show. They sent it overseas. They renamed it House 3. Now, the movie stars Lance Hendrickson, who's in almost every horror movie, it seems. His name is Lucas. And Max Jenke is... wasn't he in Tango and Cash, the villain Max Jenke?
Well, that's true.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Well, you know, guys, the freakiest thing happened. As we did episode 15, we did our Netflix pick of the week, and Mike picked The Horror Show, starring Lance Hendrickson, and it's actually known as House 3. when they sent it overseas, they just slapped House 3 on it. They had a better chance selling it that way.
Right.
They do the name change a lot with movies like that.
Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that our show is some great important piece of the horror galaxy's puzzle or anything like that, or that what we do or say has any bearing on the cosmic forces of fate. Nonetheless, a very strange thing happened this week. After we picked that movie, about 3 or 4 days later, the director died.
Jim Isaac, yes.
Yeah, Jim Isaac, and he's more well known, I guess, to people for directing Jason X.
Among other things, yes.
And what makes it so weird is that we picked the most obscure film.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. When we picked that movie.
Yeah, that was him. He was better in Tango and Cash. Continue.
Dan, did you watch this movie or no?
I did. I watched it, man. I hated it.
All right, okay. Well, the movie starts off where Max Janke kills cops, deep fries them. He kills Lance Hendrickson's partner. He cut his arms off and hung him from a chain. Well, that stuff was pretty cool. I mean, it was cheese, but it was good. Then he had a standoff. He told Lance Hendrickson to drop the gun, or else he's going to chop a little girl's head off, which he proceeds to do, even though he drops the gun. So I
thought that was a dream, by the way.
No, I think it was a dream of what really happened, though.
Yeah, it's another just bullshit excuse for the film. Okay, continue.
Yeah. So it was pretty cool. He has this little girl in his arm, and he says, drop the gun. He drops it, and he still takes the meat cleaver, which is his weapon, and chops her head off, grabs it right away, and throws it to Lance Hendrickson.
It's like football.
It was like hot potato. Now, Dan, at that point, were you thinking, all right, this might be, it's cheesy, but it seems pretty hardcore at least?
It was okay. I mean, it was really good, actually. There were a couple of good scares. I liked that. I liked the part where...
I told you before, I didn't want you to read this crap. I never saw such rotten crap in my life. Where do you get this shit? Who sells it to you? I'm talking to you, young man. You want to answer me when I'm talking to you. You remember who puts the friggin' bread on the table around here, don't you?
Stan, don't be too hard on him. All the kids read them.
My boy isn't all the kids. You want to know where this is going, Billy? In the garbage. Right into the friggin' garbage. Now, you got any smart mouth about that?
The windows are open downstairs. I better go down and close them. The rain will get in.
No, I'll do it. I got some garbage I want to throw away.
Daddy, please don't throw it away. I'm sorry.
The next time, young man, I find you with a worthless piece of shit like this again, you won't sit down for a week, buddy boy. Remember that.
Billy, if your dad was serious, then you might want to turn this show off, because I do believe it falls into the category of a
worthless piece of shit.
You're listening to the Skeleton Crew exclusively at horrorbabe.com.